Hello everybody, welcome back to Super-Duperville, Episode 3, Small, Boring City. I am Mike of Dragon Rider Gaming. Thank you very much for joining me. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good tomorrow, good day, mate. As you might guess from the title, we are going to have a new goal for today, and that is number 1, to reach milestone number 7, small city. We have to get to 11,000 people to reach that goal. Our secondary goal for today is going to be to buy 6 new squares north of our starting block area using the Purchase It mod. We are going to be able to do that. It's going to cost us about $50,000, I'm estimating, to buy those 6 blocks. And then our third goal is to start the road infrastructure for Stewtopia. Did I make it sound really cool there? Stewtopia! There we go. A little bit more emphasis on it. We have to lay out the infrastructure, meaning that we have to do some terraforming to get the ground nice and flat for the circular city. It's the only area I'm going to do a lot of terraforming in. The rest of the towns that we build, I should be working with the existing terrain and molding the area around that terrain. But this area, the way I'm going to set it up is going to be a little bit unique, so I need nice and flat land to do it. We will come back and beautify the land. You won't even be able to tell that it was terraformed. So I have a couple new mods I wanted to talk about real quick before we get started here. Number 1 is a mod that is called Speed Slider. And what this mod allows is to lower the speed of the entire game or speed it up. And my purpose for getting this mod is to help slow down the camera movement when I'm using my WASD keyboard keys moving around the game. So hopefully I'm going to try it out here. We got it set to 50%. I'm pretty happy with it at 50% speed for the camera movement, but I got to see how that really does affect the game itself and the speed of the people. Having it on 3 times speed might end up just having the people move at normal speed or close to normal speed. The other mod that I wanted to point out was Scale UI. This one as well, it drops the overall scale of the entire UI, either larger or smaller. Now with a large screen like I have an ultra wide monitor. Even though I'm recording in 1980 by 10 or 1920 by 1080, excuse me, my monitor is much wider than that. And with a large monitor like this, having the scale drop down really does make a big difference, especially when I'm looking at things like our leisure screen. This thing was, before, if you follow my mouse cursor, it was way out here. So it does make a significant difference on the size of these panels to make it a little bit more visually pleasing and get the UI pushed out a little bit further. The third item I have to point out is that the toggable whiteness mod had to be disabled, and I had to unsubscribe from it because in that same menu, when I brought up the leisure tab via my hotkey with, let's see if I can remember my hotkey right. Nope, it's not that one. It is A. It is Alt A on my machine. When I go to click on one of these other tabs, it was immediately snapping back to parks and areas, and I could not see the details of the other tabs. The same thing applied for when I was in the healthcare tab. If I tried to click on death care, it would snap back to healthcare real quick, and I could not see these other tabs. So I've pointed out the error to the toggable whiteness author. I dropped him my log of my game log or whatever it is, the log output log. That's the word. That's what it is. And so I've put that on the website for him. Hopefully he can figure it out and see what's going on with that. So just wanted to touch base on those few things. The first thing we're going to do here is we're going to put in a new area, new structured area for the high density residentials that I'm going to try and shove down here in the corner. I'm going to expand on the industrial area a little bit and get all that infrastructure in place. But before we do that, there is something that I noticed after the last episode, and it is Traffic Manager. I thought we were doing nice and good at our 85% traffic ratio, but this little button here I thought meant that despawning was turned off when it was gray. No, you have to have it blue meaning that despawning is turned off. So that means all this traffic that we had up here that was backing up into these side roads is going to become a problem now, because I thought I had despawning turned off, meaning that it was just functioning like it should. No, they were despawning along these side roads here after they were waiting to go for a while. So, you know, if despawning was left on, this car would sit here and wait to turn for a while. Well, that's parked car, sorry. But one of these cars coming out would wait at the light or wait at the intersection. They couldn't get out. They'd poof and go away. And that's not how I want to run the game. I want it to be at least somewhat realistic and challenging in the aspect, because the traffic alone in this game is its own challenge, and I like that to be ever present. So it's going to cause us a whole ton of trouble here, but before we even get started with that, I'm going to lay in some infrastructure of the roads and get this area built up and established for our new residential area. I'll be right back. Okay, so we laid out our water infrastructure. We got some electrical ran down here to just feed them some power. We put in some low-density residential or low-density commercial on this side, and the high-density residential here. We will, like I said, we're gonna. Well, I didn't say it. Like we're going to expand it like we have over here and try and stagger it out and do it slowly. In the meantime, now's the time. We're going to just jump right into it, and I know we're going to have to watch the traffic here. Now that we have despawning turned off, we're going to have to watch the traffic and see how it flows here. I bet we're going to drop down relatively quickly and speed it up here and see, because I'm absolutely sure that these intersections are going to grow and become very, very impacted with people flowing in and out. I did not put the dedicated turn lanes on the other side, so let's do that while we're at it here. We'll upgrade these to three-way, one-way roads. That should help, hopefully, with the traffic flow coming in and out of those sections. I believe that one was already upgraded, yes. That one is. This one is not. There's the other one that I wanted to have. Okay, so that should help a little bit, but yeah, you could already see it's getting redder and redder. It's expanding out. This is going to be a problem. So we will figure this out here, hopefully quickly. Oh, and we did hit 7,500 people in the end of the last episode, so I want to right away get an incinerator put in so that we can start burning some of this garbage off that is going on over here. We're going to put this incinerator right down here at the end. Yeah, right. We'll put it here. Yeah, it stays in the industrial area. No, we'll put it out here because the businesses shouldn't mind as much. And that way we can have an incinerator down here at the end, and we can start emptying a couple of these buildings and see if it can't just go to the incinerator plant and start creating some power and All that kind of good juicy stuff. I'm also going to connect this road here before anybody else builds along there, and make sure that they have a go-through point to get to this area a little bit quicker than having to go the main road. I want to avoid going to the main road a little bit more if possible. I'm even tempted to put in a couple of these as soon as I buy a couple little slip lanes for getting in and out of the areas and in and out of the city, maybe to the highway over here, just to reduce the overall flow to the center point traffic jam that is going to occur here. It seems to be working okay so far. Despawning is turned off, so okay, cool. I'm just going to keep an eye on it here and just watch it because, yeah, see, we're backing up here. We're getting a little bit further back. A lot of these roads over here do not need parking. I could go through and upgrade a lot of these roads to the industrial type two-way roads, which makes it look more visually aesthetically appealing. It really makes no difference at all for the traffic, but it looks better. And let's just see, okay, you know, actually, no, it does upgrade it. What am I talking about? Because that was a 2-lane two-way road. Now it's a 4-lane two-way road. Yeah, that should actually help. I'm hoping that helps. We'll see. All right, look at that. They already have everything up and running over here. Let's get these guys power for the time being until they can expand even further out. We're already up to 8,000 people. We only need 3,000 people. And really, with, you know, upgrading these guys continue to upgrade, hopefully, and all that kind of good stuff. Before we go any further, let me get some police coverage over here. I'm going to stick a police station right in here, and we will... Oh, that's a fire department. That's good, though. That's a good spot for them. And we'll stick some police over here as well so that they can help respond to issues around this side of town. I know that's really far away, and I probably could put that in the corner a little bit better. Yeah. All right, get them in the corner properly. All right, so these guys are going to need power. So let's put in another block here, and hopefully that should join up those three guys and help things along in that manner. That's good. Okay. Industrial, I'm going to throw down just a little bit more up here just to keep that growing and flowing. And we will also drop in some more. Actually, we'll just stay right on the 4-lane two-way road. And we'll drop in one more set of industrial here. It'll back up to the business, but that'll be fine. And that'll be good. That'll be our industrial limitation. That's going to be more than enough to get us the rest of the way. I'm itching. I'm wanting to leave this area and let it grow and let it do its thing. I really am, because I want to get up to and start working on the terraforming of this area here. First things first, we got to buy some blocks. So let's do that and get goal number 2 out of the way. So let's see how much this is going to cost us. I'm going to freeze the game here. I'm going to get to a relatively easy point here to understand. So we got 662, 645 is what we're starting with. I'm just curious how much it's actually going to cost to end up buying all 6 of these blocks here. The reason I got to buy the 6 blocks is because our city is going to go right in the center of this area. So it is going to come out around the side here and sneak out in this area some, come up all the way up here. It's going to be sneaking over here on this side. So it's kind of circular. It's going to fill that whole area. So what do we end up with here? 601, 345. I'm going to do the magic of calculation here. 662, 645 minus 601, 345. Cost us $61,300. See there? I was right. I was much closer with my estimate of 50,000 than I realized. So now we have our 6 block area of our new section. Unpause it again and get this thing rolling, get us making money, because you know, we're down to $600,000. We had to put this road infrastructure in, and by the time we're done terraforming and getting this all ready to go up here, we got to get back to $1 million. So we got to really start making a lot more money than we're making. We're only making $5,000 a week right now. So anyway, let's get this in place, and we'll worry about the money after a little bit. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of the existing train line. And the second thing that we're going to want to do here is use our terraforming tools of our landscaping, and we're going to use the flattened land, which is the second one, the level terrain. And if you look on the map here, you can see that there's little terrain indicators as to where the heights are. Hold on, I'll be right back. My cats are bugging me. I'll be right back. Okay, had to go take care of the cats, the children, the little kitties. Got to keep them happy, right? So I was talking about the terrain here. What we're going to do is we're going to select a height of terrain, a terrain height to work with. Actually, I didn't know that these all came separate. I wanted to kind of keep them together. Snap these back in place here. So the terrain height that we're going to select is going to be right along the highway here. We're going to keep this terrain height, and you do that by right-clicking, and you see it automatically went to 126.24. And then we're going to select our block here, and we're going to select our brush strength. We're going to put it down to about 50%, but we're going to increase our brush size so it's a nice big brushy area. And when we left click and move, you'll see that the terrain height also moves. And what we're doing here is we're flattening it out. We're making everything the same height as the terrain that's right along the highway here. Now we have our center point of our city. I'm going to unpause. We're going to see all this water come rushing in. All that water that I just terraformed is going to come gushing out. Look at that. Most of it should run out, but some of it's going to come and land, but it'll get dissipated by the grass and the trees and all that kind of stuff as it comes in anyway, so no big deal. And like I said, we will come back here and clean this up. This will look much better once we are set. Let's go back down here a little bit. We do have some demands. I want to keep laying in some infrastructure. Let's expand there and here. Yeah. And here. Excellent. And there. As far as commercial, yeah. One there. Put one over here too. Make a little commercial block for that zone. And we'll actually make one of these probably a commercial block down here or something. Or we'll just continue along the side. I don't know. Whatever. Okay, back to this. So we have our city center point. This is a round city, and every 10 units it's going to be expanding outward. So the perfect tool to use for this, and why I made all this super flat, is the Roundabout Builder. There's positives and negatives to using the Roundabout Builder. The first positive is it just makes making a roundabout very, very quick, and it makes it perfectly circular. The disadvantage is that you need to have it on flat land. If you try to build a roundabout And let me pause it real quick because I can show you right here on our little terraformed area. If we put in a little cross section here, it doesn't matter where, and we go to our Roundabout Builder. Where's our Roundabout Builder? Why isn't my Roundabout Builder coming on? There it is. We go to our Roundabout Builder and we come to this intersection. Let's increase the size of this up to, I don't know, 192. Is that going to cover? Yeah. So you see how it's cresting this area here. When we put that in place and we go to look at the roundabout, it flattened that area. So it does not conform to the contour of the land. And you don't want it to do that anyway in a sense, because it's going to look kind of funky when you put it in place. So I'm gonna delete this. Luckily the land comes back when you delete it, just to save the money, because we don't want to spend the money on that. Now I do have the Roundabout Builder set up in a way, and I want to point this out. It's important for what we're doing here. So I increased, of course it's going to use money to use it, right? But I allow selection of two-way roads, because by default it only gives you a list of one-way roads, and the infrastructure we're putting in place has two-way roads in it. It's not all one-way, it's just the ins and outs of the cities. And then I also clicked on do not remove or connect any roads. So it's an experimental tool, but what this is hopefully going to do is when we put in our first roundabout, the inner section that we put in place should stay there, so I don't have to keep rebuilding it every single time I build out the circle. So, and then also use second. No, that's not what I had. I thought I had another. Nope, that's it. Okay, so that's the only two things that I had in place. So when we lay down this road, our initial road, it should not delete this intersection here. So we'll see if that happens. I have got to pop out and check on the size of my road. If I go here, I believe I want to start with 160. I believe that is the correct size. Let me put in, I'm only going to do this for the first one because I want it to be 20 units out on each side. So I want to make sure from center point it reaches to this edge. In fact, I'm going to delete this side and that, and I'm going to put out 20 and 20 just to make sure. And then from there, it should expand out from that point. So I believe it's 160 units. Let's see if that is true. So this should have everything now. We can use our net picker tool to select the type of road that we want. And the road that we want is the four-way, two-way road. Small, four-lane road. Perfect. Yes. And there you go. So yeah, it is lining up perfectly because it should end right at the ends of those roads to be 20 units out. So we put that in place, and yes, it overlaps with that, so we can just delete those two roads. Still leaves us our little hourglass, or our time indicator here for our circle. And then simply all we have to do from this point forward, let me unpause so we can continue to make money. We're going to watch the money drop like a rock in the ocean here. So all we need to do is just increase this 10 units, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Every single time we want to go out to the next round or next circle, and boom, it puts in the next ring. And that is all we are going to be able to put in place. So that's a heck of a lot of rings. It looks very, very neat and organized and everything like that. We got a couple more rings we have to put in, but we can't afford that just yet. The overall distance that we are at right now, let's take a look from center point looks like we have made it out 150 units. So it doesn't matter where you go around the circle, should be at 150 units. It's going to bend at certain points and so forth. That's fine for right now. So we still have 2 more rings that we have to put in place to get our full city structure. We got to make some more money to do that. Let's just, out of curiosity, let's just go back into our Roundabout Builder and see what the next one's going to cost us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's going to cost us $82,400 plus another $87,000. So we need roughly another $175,000 to get the last couple. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Get the last couple rings in place. Let's come back down here. We got some more infrastructure to put in. This area is growing nicely. Just trying to make sure I'm not going crazy with everything here. Need some more industry. We're going to start building from this end backwards. Excellent. Let's throw down some education and such for these folks over here, patiently waiting on getting some kids in to be educated. Public library, community school. We don't need to do anything special over here. We'll just stick with the typical grade school and high school. We'll make, how about the center area? Kind of a centralized location. Good spot for grade school over there, high school over here. That should, you know, get some education going. We are back down at $14,000. I might actually just try and throw in a slip lane here. How is our traffic? Seems to be holding. It is holding right now. I gotta double check because I swear turning off despawning was going to cause such an issue, but just upgrading these roads on this side seems to be helping a heck of a lot. The other idea I was going to do is make this one way, one direction. So whereas right now, as it's coming in, it goes out to either side and these come in from either side. I was going to make this just flow straight through this way, this flows straight through this way, something like that. It seems to be working right now, though. I'm not going to mess with it. I thought about time traffic lights, but if it's not broke, you know the saying. And while it's emptying, they can't go out and pick up the garbage. And these guys are literally going up and down this road here and picking up the garbage. Even these guys coming out here, I don't think they're going out into the city. If I'm watching them, they're all coming down here. They're turning in here. They're coming to pick up garbage and taking it right back to the incineration plant. They're not even messing around with picking up anybody's garbage yet. So I think we got a little bit more time before people really start complaining. This might get emptied in time to send out people to go get more garbage. Alright, so we have some garbage problems, obviously. People are starting to really complain about garbage. I'm going to I turned on this facility again so they could go out and collect garbage. Both my incinerator plants are working like mad to try and empty the garbage that is out there to be collected. And yeah, garbage processing status is really, really bad. So we are going to have to put in another incinerator just to try and get garbage emptied out as quickly as possible. I'm going to throw it down here at the end. Just to maybe assist with getting these places emptied so that then they can go out and get garbage again. I don't know. It's already 4% full. I just turned that back on. There's a lot of people that are going to be complaining about garbage around the city. Geez, I already got abandoned houses down here because they just weren't happy about the garbage. Citizens are sick because of the garbage. Oi, oi, oi. So, oh my goodness, we hit small city. How about that? So as I'm going along here, just dropping in a new water treatment center or intake and new sewage output, this thing pops up. Was not even expecting us to hit 11,000 already. Yeah, so we have some level 6 buildings. We can put in trains now and monorails and cable cars, so that's excellent because we're going to want to use monorail in our first city here. We have new policies in place that we can implement. That is good, good, good. And look at all this stuff here. All these new buildings that we can put in. Multi-platform train station. I like seeing that. And a cargo train terminal. Nice. Gonna need that. And a regular train station for people to come in and out of the city. Cool. And we have several of the assets, some of the assets that we downloaded. Some monorails. Hydropower plant, which I don't think we're going to utilize in this city. But we got a basketball arena. Nice. Yoga garden. That's cool. Nice little things. So we hit 11,000 people just like that, and we still haven't even expanded out for as far as we wanted to go here. So pretty much that's going to be it for our starting block area. We just need it to make us just tons of money in the meantime, so that we can expand upon our Stewtopia layout here. We haven't even put in another ring yet, but we got problems over here that we're dealing with. We can't have this area fail on us until we want it to fail. You know what I'm saying? So in the meantime, we're going to have to keep putting a few things down here. I'm going to throw in a park or two just to keep the happiness level up a little bit. Just to keep people in the area. Whoops, that's not the one I wanted, is it? Yeah, I'm going to throw in a dog park over here. These people need a dog park for their dogs. So these people. Couple of them. That should help a little bit, at least mitigate some of the anger. And how's our traffic doing? I cannot believe our traffic is holding steady and holding true. This is amazing. I've always been, I knew from the start that having a one-road town in and out of your city is dangerous. But we have hit 11,000 people, and it has not hindered us as much as I thought it would. This is super heavy traffic because it's just everybody's coming in and out of this way instead of down here. Matter of fact, I think I am going to upgrade this road just to assist. It's just busy. It's flowing. There's not a single person stopping that's backing up. So it's flowing. I'm leaving it alone. Leave it alone. And oh my goodness, we are back and we have gotten a bunch of money. I just haven't been having it run here, and I've been setting up my cinematic camera shot for the end of the episode. But let's get in our roads here for our last couple loops. So we last left off at 1,200 units. Now we're going to do 1,280. And that'll put that, make sure we're on the 4-lane road, yes. And I realized I spent more than I had to on this because I could have put in 2-lane roads for the majority of these. And our last road that we're going to put in for our 170 radius or 340 diameter is 1,360 radius. And that puts in our last road. Whoops, I want to go to this one. Let's close that window. Double check our road here. Just picking our smallest one available, and that going to the outside, 170 units. Perfect. Go up here, 170 units. Nice. Up here, 170 units. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, so we don't need these roads in the middle anymore because this is all going to be a entry area anyway, or it's, I'm sorry, a center transport hub. Okay, so we finished that episode. We achieved those goals fairly quickly, a little bit faster than I even anticipated doing. I'm trying to get these episodes down to about a half hour. So we did what we set out to accomplish. We got the road infrastructure in place for Stewtopia. Take a look at that. Isn't that great? Look at that. Nice circular area, a super big bullseye sign right on the ground there. We will come back and we will clean up all these ridges, all these hard ridges and stuff. We're going to detrack the railroad system, full pun intended, and send that back to the edges where we're going to put in our individual stations. So thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate you coming by and spending a little bit of time with me. Until next time, please like, please subscribe, hit the bell notification so you are updated when I put out a new video if you so wish. Send me some information, let me know what you thought, what you liked, what you didn't like, and give me some constructive criticism. Always open to that. Until next time, this is Mike of Dragon Rider Gaming. Bye-bye.